Tune Radio in the house today. Johnny Sig, your host, joined with James LaBrie, RJ Sarzo, Timmy Mangione, and our guest, Sean McNabb. Sean, how's it going, brother?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on today, brother. Much appreciated, man. So, Sean, you're a man of many talents. Let's get right into it. You're a writer. You're a bass player, actor. What made you choose the bass guitar? It's always an interesting instrument of choice when someone's starting out. It's not really too common.
Well, it was the movie Tommy from The Who that changed my life, man. My mom dropped me off at a matinee, and it's a very avant-garde movie. I didn't really understand any of that, but I did walk out of that theater that day just going, wow, the music grabbed me, and I think that's what I want to do, and it was John Entwistle from The Who sparked that in me, and it's pretty cool because we became friends later on in life.
Absolutely. And the connection between acting and music, how did that begin? What got you into wanting to be an actor?
Involved in school plays and things, and with drama classes and things like that got me excited about that. And it's crazy, here I am in my late 50s, and just turned my first feature film with another group of actors, which is a massive, It's been a long road, my brothers.
So that's Road to Terzetto, and that's coming out on Amazon Prime coming soon, correct?
Yeah, and actually we were looking at it this morning, and it's up there right now. It's called Road to Terzetto. It's a story about three brothers that get an inheritance from their degenerate gambler father that gave them all up, gave them up as babies. They come back on his deathbed, and he gives them an inheritance, and stuff goes sideways, and I don't want to give away too much, but the movie is up there today, a couple days early, which we're surprised about. But check out Road to Terzetto on Amazon Prime and other streaming services.
Awesome. So as in terms of production, now, did you have to do what you had to do with the writing of this film, correct?
That's correct. Three of us wrote it, and we produced it. We funded it. We got funding for it. We did everything, man. I scored the film as well. So
wow.
It's thousands of hours of work that go into these things that people just don't realize until they turn a feature film. And then it's like, whoa, I didn't know it was all this work.
So how incredible was it to actually score something that you have dreamt up, visually, when you conceive a story in your brain? You're hearing music, I'm sure you're writing to music like a lot of people do. How awesome was it to actually put music into your drafts?
It was incredible, man. And, it really made me dig deep. And I wrote a bunch of stuff. I leaned on some of my rock star friends for songs. I learned a lot about licensing. There was 4 songs that I had to replace in the movie because we couldn't afford them. I was looking at a big sum of money that to pay the licensing fees. And even though they were covers that we had done, we still couldn't afford the licensing fee. So I learned a lot about that. But, I knew early on in the film that when something was right with the scene and I was hitting the right emotion, that the hair would just like stand up on my arms, man. And I'd be like, that's it. And that feeling, I got in touch with that. And then so every scene had to do that for me, throughout the movie. And that's when I knew I had it right.
That's pretty incredible experience. And who do you take influence from as far as like some of your acting chops? Do you have favorite actors, people that inspired you to become an actor?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many greats. I love Robert Downey Jr. I've studied a lot of Josh Brolin. I really love his work, and then there's all the classic, people that I love, Kirk Douglas and people like that. But, it really comes down to the good coaches that I've had. And my recent coach, Anthony Gilardi, really opened the doors for me to have a better craft. And that's really what it's about. People are like, I want to be an actor, but I don't want to work at it, and I don't want to study it, and I don't want to read plays, and I don't want to do this and that. And that's part of it, man. You have to do that. And I just want to touch on this is that we, our acting coach was like, I've watched you guys in so many things, scenes and plays that you've done now. You've got such great chemistry. Why don't you create a vehicle for yourself? So we thought, oh, we'll make a short film. And then we got a great story and we're like, we can't tell this in a short. We got to make a feature. And we were off and running, man.
Well, that's what's great, that you could flesh out in a feature as you did too. It seems like you're very enthusiastic about it because I know that features sometimes are very limited because of time to like flesh out characters. That's why series could go good sometimes, but sometimes with series, people are like, let's just get right to the point of it. So it sounds like something that you have that's very fulfilling in terms of the production. So everything that got to this point, like we had mentioned at 21, you're getting Quiet Riot. That's got to be very exciting. Now, you come from Indiana. So what was the transition like coming from where you lived as a child to getting out there, essentially like running around California, doing the band thing, now the film thing? That's a big difference from where your roots are from, right?
Well, yeah, I started playing clubs when I was 13 in Indiana. And, it was a long road from there. I got in a lot of circuit bands that traveled the Midwest and Florida and kind of cut my teeth playing the rock stuff, the top 40, all that. And that made me well-rounded as a musician. Like I said, I was into some fusion and jazz, the top 40 bands and all that stuff. It really helped me be well-rounded. And yeah, man, I moved to Los Angeles at 20 years old in a beat up Nissan Stanza, $200 in my pocket, an Ampeg SVT in the back of the Stanza, 3 changes of clothes and 2 basses in a dream, man. And I got really lucky. I got in Quiet Riot like 3 weeks later upon moving to Los Angeles. I met, some really great people right out of the gate, like Rudy Sarzo, some of the Dokken guys, and befriended them. Rudy and I are just great friends to this day. Really cool when you can, some of your heroes you become friends with and good friends. And I was really lucky. I always call it a God thing. I was in the right place at the right time with the right look, had a little bit of talent to do it. And the doors opened for me. And I was very, very lucky.
I was going to ask you about that big moment, like when you're around your musical peers, people that you idolized, and also like you play a gig and you look at the magnitude of it, all the fans say, like, when was that moment in time where you said, you know what, I think I might have done something here, something real special with your life, like there had to be that game changing moment at some point, right?
Well, I was so young. I didn't really know anything about the business. But I would say that moment was like a month later, we were playing this huge festival in Japan called Japan A2. And it was like James Brown, Quiet Riot, Dio, all these, George Duke, Irene Cara, Gorky Park, concerts used to be different. It wasn't all one genre. They'd put like James Brown and Quiet Riot together, and it was cool. I met the King, and that was a moment for me when I was like, wow, here I am, and it wasn't like I made it, but I was like, this is pretty special to be involved with.
Man, I mean, James Brown, that's a moment where you're probably like, I got to pinch myself because it's unbelievable. I have some experiences like that too. Where you just stop and say, my life's pretty cool. I'm getting to hang out with this person or see this or see that from a different pair of eyes that I grew up from, which is great. And then plus the influences. I mean, how awesome is it when you have people from around the world come up to you and admire your bass playing or that story, like you said right there, man, you had a dream, you had a car with your stuff and you packed your stuff up and you went there and you capitalize on that. That's got to feel wonderful as well.
Well, I don't know if it was just stupidity or just the belief in my dream, but a lot of people aren't willing to take that chance, and I knew that there was something else out there for me in my heart, and I had to go to Los Angeles for it to happen.
Right on, as most people do, and you made something out of it, man. So aside from the acting, and I want to go back there in a moment with the music and acting, what do you like to do for fun? Because I mean, you do have a lot of fun for a living, but also, I mean, are you into sports? Are you into video games? What do you like to do to pass time?
Yeah, I'm a sports guy. I'm really into open wheel racing and IndyCar racing. Being from Indiana, I go to the 500 every year, and I'm lucky enough to hang out with the Team Penske guys, which a lot of us are Hoosiers, so it's an Indiana thing. But man, that's when I pinch myself sometimes too. I've been lucky enough to walk out to the grid with the cars and the drivers and the team VP and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Pinch me moments, and I'm also into hockey and some other things. But yeah, I'm a sports guy. I'm not much of a gamer, but yeah, I'm definitely a sports guy.
As far as technology goes, not much of a gamer, but thoughts on AI. Everyone wants to talk about the AI thing nowadays, how robots are taking over. What about for music? Do you have any thoughts, early thoughts on this AI thing about artificial writing or even musicians? Do you have any thoughts on the AI?
Well, that's kind of a hot button issue right now, and with our strike as actors, that was a big issue
Yeah.
with how this is going to move forward and everything. But man, I'm old school, man. Here's the thing with guys from the 80s, such as myself, and we played and we sang, we never used tracks, whether it was warts and all and things, we played and we sang, we're not up there faking it. And I see a lot of that these days, and especially on a bigger scale in award shows and stuff. And I'm like, man, anybody can get out there and jump around, do a CD, but man, we played and we sang, and whether it was perfect or not, that's rock and roll. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but for me, I'm old school, man. I admire the bands that still play and sing and do it for real.
Absolutely. Cadillac Records is a great movie that
Oh,
depicted that, where everyone's in the same room playing, right? And
yeah.
that's how it was. And to be in that room, you had to be good because they'd get someone else real fast that could do it. And the vocalist has to sing in the open room. So the more takes that you blow, the more the vocalist has to sing. And then that singer is going to be pissed. And then the take goes for naught. And now you have 60 takes of a song. Like that one episode of The Sopranos when Christopher brings in that band, what were they called? Visiting Day, and they couldn't get the tune right because they actually had to record without like computers and stuff like that. But it is one of those things that unfortunately there are a lot of replacements in every aspect and walk, but hopefully it doesn't affect us too much or have the need to call in reinforcements to help us out, right? So you've been around the game a long time, man. Now I got to talk to you about fitness because I know how old you are, and you got to be fit. Now I want to kind of bring this full circle and talk about wellness. I got my guys here from Life Pack, and I definitely want to talk about keeping fit. I'm someone in my mid 40s. I know about trying to keep it together. Brother, what's your secret? What are you doing?
Well, we're basically trying to look like Robert Sarzo Jr., because the brother is in shape.
I try.
Yeah, so he inspires us all, but
If you figure that out, let me know because I'm working on that too.
no, it's a lifestyle, man. I made a choice 19 years ago. I'm in my 20th year of sobriety, and with that, yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Congrats.
Well, it's still one day at a time, man. And
Yeah.
but that with that, a lot of lifestyle choices changed, and fitness was a big part of one of those. I'm a regular gym guy. I eat, very clean, about 95% of the time. But I love the Life Pack guys, man. They've been so great, and their products have really helped me a lot with I'm almost 60, man. And so I'm starting to feel it. And we went hard, so to have these products to help, with pain in my back and things like that and my neck have been incredible. And I already have the roll on because I hit it pretty hard at the gym yesterday, and I'm feeling pretty good right now.
That's awesome, man. That's great to know, and I was going to ask you about what products you're using. And as we said, we're not making an infomercial, but at the end of the day, I like to share things with people. And, I'm someone that also has given up supplements in my life over the years and, look for natural remedies. And, Life Pack Organics has definitely been great for me. My focus, brother, my level of, as a musician, this, and I'm an educator. I teach about 60 drummers a week, and my level of focus has to be on point. And I do it out here in Vegas, and it's the entertainment capital of the world, so high expectations at my job. And this helps me with focus and also any kind of aches and pains I have, because for me, that could take away from focus. If your hands don't feel good and you're a drummer, guess what? It's going to hinder your focus. So that's what I tell people, is that if it helps one part out, it will start helping all the parts out, little by little. So how did you meet these guys? How did you get to know James and RJ?
Well, big shout out to James the Fisherman LaBrie, because he's the man.
That's a good story. We'll save for next show.
Okay. But I've known the Sarzos, like I said, I met Rudy early on, and I've been friends with Junior's dad for so long, Robert. And I've known Junior since he was, a teenager and stuff. So
Yep.
We go back a long, long ways. And he's a smart guy. And, these products they're based to help people at the end of the day. And that's what it's really about, is helping people, with the travel. And you do 3 cities in one weekend, or even 2, and you're flying and you got early lobby calls and things like that. And this stuff can beat you up. So, like I said, the products have been super helpful for me, just kind of bouncing back the next day, when I played New Jersey Friday and I'm going to the Midwest on Saturday for another gig, and then flying home on Sunday. These products have been amazing, just to help me kind of recover and be able to, like you said, stay focused and do a great gig. And that's helping people. And that's what Retune's about, is it's about helping people.
Absolutely, 100%. And I know right now you're active bass playing as well, right? You're with ZO2?
Yeah, I'm in several bands. I'm in Rhino Bucket, ZO2. I play with Debbie Holiday. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. We just did this thing for the Washington Capitals Saturday in DC. So I just came off a big travel weekend, and there was a lot of retune for me that weekend.
A whole lot of retuning.
Oh yeah. But real fortunate to still be doing this, and I still love it, man, and it's something I can never give up, whether our movie gets huge or whatever happens, music is always part of my DNA, and it's who I am, and I'll never give it up. I just want to be like Rudy, Rudy Sarzo, one of my mentors and good friends. Man, he's doing it at such a high level at 73 years old. If we could all be so lucky to be doing that. He inspires me on a daily basis.
Well, 100%, man. Is that I look at guys from yesteryear, like Toto and Journey are on tour together right now, and they are kicking so much ass. They sound great, and those guys are well up there, And a lot of original members come back, over the years, and it makes a difference too. They sound wonderful live, and that experience, and it's just great to see that they're still doing it. It gives us hope for longevity. And I mentioned ZO2. I opened up for those guys back in the day in Long Island in 2004. When I saw that you were with those guys, I was like, wow, man, I opened up for them with Seven Wiser, this band that I was in, based out of Long Island. And Timmy over here, Timmy, Joey, right?
Yeah, Sean, I don't know if you remember the last time you did the whiskey with Joey. Me, you, and Joey went to get pizza after. We were talking about Kiss.
Oh,
then
yeah.
You were telling me how you had a gig with Paul one weekend, but you couldn't do it.
Yeah, brother. Good to see you, man. We crushed some slices. I think we were off the diet that night.
Yeah, I was going to say that you said 95%. There's your 5%. So
yeah, I think we went off the rails that night.
Yeah. Well, that's daily for me. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
that
love.
5% is that 5% Florida. Remember the Mexican joint in Florida?
Oh my God.
Oh man, that joint was.
Yeah.
Dude, we went back how many times in a row?
It was so good. We went back twice, but
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I'm blessed to be involved with ZO2.
Joey's a
God
great
bless
guy.
Dave got killed in a touring accident, and one of the original members of ZO2, and that was a horrible thing. That could have been any of us out there touring, And I'm just honored I'm never going to be him, but I'm honored that they asked me to do it. And I'll never fill his shoes, but I can keep the essence going and keep the ZO2 music out there. And there's a lot of people that love the band, so it's a real honor.
That's great, man. I got a couple more for you, and I'll open up for questions for everyone else too. For right now, Sons of Anarchy, in my opinion, holds up as one of the greatest TV shows of all time. I got it in my top 5. I'm a big TV guy. And what was your experience like being on such a historic show?
Well, first of all, I was really lucky. It was a great training ground for me. I got to watch 8 of the best actors in the business on a daily basis do their thing and their process. And I kind of was like eyes wide open, mouth shut on that set. I learned a lot about being on TV sets and how quick things turn, and what a long day's like and all that. But it was a great training ground for me. I'm really thankful for it. Like you said, it was such a phenomena. Not many shows go 7 seasons. It went for a full ride. Was very, very lucky. Although I never really had a real role on that show, I was around seasons 4 through 6. Every day I'd show up to work. Maybe today's the day I get a real role, but they were really, really good to me. And I got recognized more from kind of just being around on that show than a lot of the movies I've done, So like I said, it was a blessing to be a part of, and it was part of my growth as an actor.
You got that recognizable look, stands out, especially for that show. It like fits right in perfectly, right? And also in the music career that you've been active in, you've done commercials, right?
Yeah, I've done some commercials. It's not really why I wanted to be an actor. We do them, you book a national commercial, you're buying another property or something, but it's not really my focus. My focus is more the theatrical acting and stuff, but I do have a commercial agent. I do go out on auditions with that. But things are ramping up right now. I've had a ton of auditions in the last couple of months, and the industry's slowly coming back from our strike. And I'm in full support of the IATSE union, that they get whatever they want, because the business can really not handle another strike right now. We got to give them whatever they want, and nothing happens without the IATSE guys, so they deserve everything that they're asking for.
Yeah, hopefully there's not another strike. I mean, there's a lot of great content, a lot of great content creators out there, especially with technology being used the right way on a lot of platforms such as Amazon Prime, like you were mentioning, releasing quality films, and we're all looking forward to checking that out. Now, you said that's already released on Amazon Prime as of today. We can watch that?
Yeah, that's up there. It was supposed to come out Friday, but somebody texted me last night and goes, "Hey, the movie's up." So it's very important with algorithms that we really kick some major butt in this next couple of weeks and get some eyes on the film to get into the algorithm that we'd like to be in. I also have to mention there's another movie out there that I'm a producer on, and recorded a full album's worth of material and the soundtrack for this thing. It's called Rock Bottom. It is also out there. It's a rock and roll story that we developed for 3 years. I play a small role in it, but I'm a producer on it, and wrote some music, a couple songs, and played on the soundtrack. That's
also a great Kiss song too.
Huh?
It's also a great Kiss song.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So check those out. And then I have another movie coming out with Mickey Rourke called Jade. It's a martial arts movie that I got a nice little role in, and it's really the fighters are insane in the movie. They're so good. It's if you like martial arts movies, it's pretty cool. Check that out.
I'm huge into.
Sean, when's that coming out?
Yeah, when is that coming out?
I think that's coming out next month.
Nice.
It's got the amazing Mickey Rourke, and just to be in his presence was pretty cool.
Absolutely, great actor. Poper Greenwich Village, amazing movie. He's been in so many great movies.
Barfly, the one that put him on the map. Barfly, remember that back in the day?
Barfly.
Stanislavski movie. Yeah, it was amazing.
As far as martial arts movies goes, I'm all in on that. I mean, Best of the Best Part 1 is probably one of my favorite movies ever. And obviously Cobra Kai, the series that had just come out in recent years, they did a great job with that. And it seems like those type of movies are coming back a little bit, which is much needed. That genre, the action martial arts genre, was always a fun genre.
Yeah, the lead in that one, amazing martial artist. Her name is escaping me right now. God, it's early. But she's this little African-American girl, about 5 feet tall, with massive afro, and she just kicks everybody's butt throughout the movie. She's incredible, dude. The movie's called Jade, and there's a bunch of other serious martial artists in it. Me not being one of them. I just played one of Mickey's goons, but it's still a pretty cool part, and check it out.
Did you have to do any stunts?
Yeah, I did a bunch of stunts. I do that too. You were talking about Sons. Sons led to me being a stuntman on the Mayans MC as well. So I did a lot of stunts there, a lot of riding, fights, and guns, and I've done stunts in several other movies too. And I'm doing them while I can, because you can't do stunts forever, No,
I feel you. So outside of all that too, family, you have I believe a grandson and a daughter, correct?
I do, man. And they just celebrated birthdays, my daughter and my grandson, the 31st and the 1st. So yeah, man, that was another blessing of my sobriety, man, is that I had a great relationship with them for almost 20 years. There was a time where, that wasn't so great. And that was one of the gifts of me getting clean and sober, that I've been a part of their lives, and they've never seen me messed up or in any way. And I've been solid. So that's another gift of that sobriety.
Absolutely. And you look and you sound great too. And you're going into later stages, as we all are, of our lives, and healthy. Got it out of our system. Now we're taking care of ourselves. And that's really the way to go, and it's just a wonderful thing when I hear people share their stories and be open about it and have that kind of victory, because it is a victory at the end of the day, what you've done with not only the music business, but just the business of life. Right.
Yeah. So, I always say, hey man, I survived the 80s, a lot of my friends, and that's horrible. And I miss a lot of those guys. And it was cool. A friend of mine, the bass player in Y&T, the other day posted that he got 5 years, of sobriety, and he thanked a bunch of us that have quietly carried the message, and I was one of those guys. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool that I influenced somebody else, to get clean and sober. And that's what it is, man. It's pay it forward. You got to give it away to keep it, and need to be a part of that.
Absolutely, 100%. Fellas, RJ, Jimmy, Timmy, anyone want to add anything?
Yeah,
man,
I just wanted to say, man, congrats on everything that's going on, man. It's been so fun to see and hang out with you first and foremost. But secondly, it's just so fun to see what's going on in your life. And this Prime release is huge, man. Congrats.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. It's always great hanging out with you too, and I appreciate it. Everything on your end always. And yeah, man, we're going to see what happens with it, and hopefully this will lead to another film.
Yeah.
We just wanted to show people what we could create from scratch with this one, and I think it turned out okay.
We're sitting back, and me knowing you for so many years, and just kind of growing up with you, not to put age on you, right? It's one of those things. It's just beautiful to have you around and have you part of the Retune, all-star team with my uncle Rudy and my dad and Simon and just all the guys, and to be involved and help us promote, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy living. So it's important to me, having you on the team, and it's such a blessing to see your career from acting to musical with your talents just strive, and you're such a down to earth good dude, and honestly there's not a lot of that in the industry, and we're just blessed to be surrounded by good people such as yourself. So I just personally wanted to say thank you, Sean, and always having our back and always being in our corner. So
Well, and likewise, guys, you treated me with just nothing but, love and respect. And I appreciate that. And I would do anything for you guys. I believe in what you're doing. And, you guys are super humble. And those are the people I always gravitated towards, no matter what's going on in their life, is guys like Rudy and guys, that have stayed humble. And that for me is where it's at, I think people go through their stuff when they're younger, and but the people that have been around, they know how to treat people with respect, and they're grateful for everything that's happened for them in their careers. And man, let's keep doing it, okay, guys?
Hey,
absolutely.
Anytime. It was great having you on. Can we tell the listeners how we can find you on your social?
Sure. I'm at Sean McNabb Official on Instagram. Very easy to find on Facebook. Sean McNabb, Sean McNabb, actor, musician. I'm also on TikTok. I think that's official as well, but easy to find. And thank you guys so much for having me today. And you got that drummer vibe, man. I could just tell. We could probably lay down a pocket,
Dude, anytime, man. My guys, I go from yesteryear like you with Led Zeppelin and Rush. Toto, Jeff Beccaro is my hero, And then as far as jazz goes, Art Blakey. Modern times, I like Chevelle and Tool, obviously. Danny Carey is just a monster.
Oh, my God. Dude, I've been watching I love drum videos, and I like to watch all the OG guys, Beccaro and
oh yeah.
And some of the old jazz guys, like some of those Buddy Rich videos. Have you ever seen the video of Sammy Davis Jr. playing drums?
Hell yeah. Dude,
unreal.
A lot of people don't know that he was a drummer, among a lot of other things. Very talented man. But I tell people all the time, Sammy Davis was actually a really good drummer, tap dancer, you know. And I like to see him on double bass with some of those tap dances, like modern sets that have like Terry Bozzio style, or like Mike Portnoy, but yeah, dude, I'd love to jam anytime. And for me, you mentioned, Jeff Beccaro. That's my guy. He would have been 70. What was it? Just yesterday, I believe. He would have been 70. And all those records he was on, think about that, man. From like the time he was 19, cutting it loose with Steely Dan all the way up to the very end with the B-52s. I think was the last album he tracked on. But it's wild. So I'm glad that we have guys like you said, you around, man, keeping it going and looking great up there, and inspiring those. Speaking of inspiring, any words of wisdom to those listening, aspiring musicians or actors or just people trying to be great at life?
Well, you were talking about the Porcaros, and I've been lucky enough to be hanging out a little bit with Steve Porcaro, and he said something the other night that I just thought was so amazing. He goes, "The groove is a very delicate thing." And I was like, yeah, man, that is deep right there. And it's true. For me, it's all about the pocket, man. And you got that pocket, everything else falls into place. I suppose that, could resonate in life as well. If you're solid and you're focused and you have, your head together, then I think anything is obtainable. You can obtain anything that you want if you can visualize it, stay focused, and then you got to work your butt off. People that work all the time because they work all the time. And that's what that is. You can't expect things to happen if you don't work all the time.
100%.
Well said. Well said.
Absolutely. Sean, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody, enjoy your day.
Love you, brother. Thank you, man.
Take care, guys.